I married my ex-boyfriend about 2 years ago, but we actually broke up 3 times before getting back together for good. And our relationship is completely different now than it was before the breakups. Getting back together forever was obviously so life-changing and the best decision I've ever made. So, as of today, I've also helped over 1,000 other couples get back together for good. But I wanted to make this video for you because it's never just about getting back together. It's about being able to change your relationship in a healthy way as well. My relationship with my husband now is nothing like it was back then. You see, breakups are never really the problem. They're only a result of the real problems in your relationship. So just getting back together isn't the solution. You have to actually change your relationship in order for it to work. So in this video, I'm giving you an inside look at what our relationship used to be like compared to what it is now. And I'm going to tell you how we fixed things because I know a lot of you who are watching this video are also going through breakups for the same reasons we did. This video is going to show you how drastically things can change when you know how to manifest a healthy relationship. My partner used to have a fear of commitment when we were going through our breakups. Like most adults in their late 20s, he had some negative experiences with relationships that made him scared to fully open up to someone else. He told me that he wasn't really looking for a relationship when we met and that he had given up on the possibility of ever being in a serious relationship again. Of course, this was a major block for us to move forward. It felt like we were so perfect for each other, but every time things seemed to progress, he pulled away. He flip-flopped a lot, changed his mind about whether he was ready for a relationship, and we actually broke up 3 times because of this. Honestly, it was really hard. I felt like the closer we got, the more he pulled away soon after. I saw so much good in our relationship, but I was scared that we would keep hitting the same wall and never get the chance to experience our relationship to the fullest. It was frustrating, and it did hurt. I wondered if there was something wrong with me that made him not want to commit to me fully. Because for me, this was the most perfect relationship I had ever been in. And it was really confusing that he wasn't all in like I was. After our biggest breakup, I did a lot of inner work, just like I teach my clients to do in the reunion program. I got to the roots of the problem, and I realized that all of this was stemming from my own limiting beliefs. I realized that I still believed there were no truly good men in the world, and that all men would eventually hurt me, because that had been my experience in life so far. I believed that our relationship was too good to be true, and that I wasn't good enough for a relationship that good. So I got to work on fixing those beliefs, and within just 3 weeks, me and my ex were back together. He was initiating plans, he was communicating his emotions, and we talked a lot about our future. Things got a lot more serious. I even met his parents, which was a really big deal since he said that he would only ever do that if he saw himself marrying someone. He started referring to me as his person, his soulmate. He was extremely affectionate without holding back. The closer we got, the less he pulled away. which was the exact opposite of how things had been before. 8 months after we got back together, he asked me to move in. And a few months after that, we got married. My partner used to cancel plans a lot. Sometimes he would even cut our plans short in the middle of hanging out. And there were even times when I was on my way down to his place across town and he would cancel plans and I would just have to turn back around. This was really hard for me because I got so excited about seeing him whenever we had plans. I would daydream about spending the day together. I would clear my schedule to be with him. And I even put off other priorities just to spend time with him. I didn't see my friends as much, and I wasn't giving as much attention to my other goals in life. I worked for myself at the time, and I would blow off work sometimes just to see him when it was convenient for him. Not because he asked me to, but because I would lie and say that I didn't have anything else going on, so I could go see him. And the more he canceled plans on me, the more I canceled plans for myself, because his time felt so scarce, which made it hurt even more when he canceled plans last minute. During our separation, I realized exactly why he was canceling plans so often. It's because everyone is you pushed out. I was canceling my own plans in order to make room for him. I was making myself and my goals less of a priority in order to accommodate him. I had him and his time up on a pedestal. And when I realized this, I stopped. I made a list of the goals and the things that were important to me, that were non-negotiable. The things that I had to do each day before I would spend time with anyone else. So when we got back together, I wasn't as available, and I wasn't trying to play hard to get. My priorities had genuinely shifted. I remembered how important it was for me to go to the gym every day and get enough sleep and to keep my house clean and go for a daily walk outside and to keep my scheduled work hours even if I technically didn't have to. And I even canceled plans on him sometimes if I felt really tired. Whereas in the past, I would just push through my tiredness in order to see him. When I started putting myself first, so did he. We've always had plenty of good conversations in our relationship. We have a lot of deep talks, and that's one of the things I love about my partner. But when it came to certain issues, he would shut down, especially when it came to talking about our relationship. Whenever I would notice his lack of commitment or that something seemed a bit off, sometimes I'd try to talk about it and he would just get defensive and shut down. It was so strange because he's very emotionally intelligent and he loves good communication as much as I do. But for some reason, he just couldn't talk about our relationship. He couldn't talk about where things were going or how he really felt about me, which made me feel like there was something wrong. But I wasn't sure what it was because he wouldn't tell me. It was so confusing. I realized that there were a lot of things that I kept from him too. I didn't always voice my fears and concerns because I was afraid that talking about those things would push him away or scare him off. I didn't always ask for what I really wanted because I was afraid that I was asking for too much. And I didn't really talk about how some of the things he did hurt me because I was afraid that would push him away too. I thought that if I was 100% honest about what I wanted and what needed to change, he would tell me he couldn't be that man for me and that I should go find someone else who could. And I thought that since this relationship was already way better than any other I had been in, I would just settle for whatever he chose to give me, instead of asking for what I truly wanted. But the breakup helped me realize that I was stuck in this pattern, and I snapped out of it. I decided that what I was asking for really wasn't that much, and that if I didn't ask for it now, I might have to settle for never getting it for the rest of my life. And I decided to trust. I started trusting that my partner could handle hearing the truth, that he could take accountability and respond in a healthy way. So I voiced my true thoughts, and that's exactly what happened. Instead of silencing myself, I felt heard. Instead of preemptively thinking that I was asking for too much, I decided to ask for what I wanted, and I got it. My partner actually admired this change in me, and I feel like it made him respect me even more. Today, he encourages me to ask for literally anything that my heart desires, and he does everything in his power to give it. Of course, I do the same for him, and what we ask for from each other is very reasonable, and we give to each other with love. It's honestly so beautiful, and it's like nothing I've ever seen in my whole life. I've never experienced or witnessed another relationship like this close up. When our relationship first started, my partner was initiating almost everything. He would always ask to plan dates. He would text me first. He would always come to my place. But I wanted things to feel more equal. So I started reaching out first and also initiating plans and driving to his house too. And amidst me not prioritizing myself enough and him fearing commitment, this dynamic actually shifted unfavorably. I started being the one to plan most of our dates, and I drove down to his house more often, and I texted him first more often too. This was frustrating because it was such a change from how things were when we first started dating. It made me feel like he didn't care as much as he used to. But again, at this point, I wasn't really speaking up for what I wanted or saying what I really felt. So I just felt bad about it in secret. The root of this problem, like the others I've described, was me not prioritizing myself or saying what I really wanted and trusting my partner to hear it and make healthy changes. Remember, no one else can prioritize you if you don't prioritize yourself first. And people will generally show up the way that you expect them to. So if you're already anticipating that someone will disappoint you, they likely will. I admit, I still struggle with this sometimes, even to this day, especially since I feel more needy and isolated now that I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm pretty restricted in what I feel like I can do. I can't really go out alone because sometimes it's hard for me to drive. And it's hard for me to walk around the block because I have a lot of hip pain that I'm in physical therapy for. So I'm pretty much confined to the house, and my partner is the only person in the house with me. In some ways, this has set me back a little bit. But I haven't forgotten what I learned from our separation years ago. And I still ask for what I want and prioritize myself as much as I have energy to do so. And other than being super pregnant, our relationship has balanced back out. We initiate plans equally. We text each other and start conversations first equally. And it never feels like I'm chasing or begging for his time. I feel comfortable talking about my feelings in regard to how much time we're spending together. And he does everything in his power to give me more time if I ask for it. And there are times when I get super busy with work and he feels comfortable coming to me and asking for more of my time. It feels like we have the perfect balance now, even if we have to make adjustments here and there. So, as you can see, our relationship has come a long, long way. In fact, It's pretty unrecognizable from how it was just a few years ago. And I really believe that it's all because I learned how to manifest. See, manifestation isn't a bunch of crystals and spells. It's not even just affirming or journaling. Manifestation is simply how you live your life day to day. It is an outward reflection of your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. It's a direct response to your words and actions. And by simply making healthy changes in these areas, you align yourself with the best version of you and the best version of your partner. I swear, I never even used to dream of having a relationship like this. It's so freaking healthy, and I'm so thankful for my husband every single day. Where I used to feel stressed and unsure, I now feel safe and at peace. I have no doubts whatsoever about our commitment to each other. I feel loved and respected. Our communication is insanely healthy. Like, I've never seen two people talk the way that we do. Our conversations about relationships are so productive. And if we have differing opinions, we genuinely try to understand each other and find common ground. We are very solution-oriented. There is never resentment or a power imbalance. We're equals. And we genuinely want what is best for each other and our relationship. If you dream of having a relationship that exceeds your imagination, I recommend checking out my manifestation programs at manifest-best.com. I offer the Manifest Anything workbook, which is great for creating your dream relationship if you are single and have not met your soulmate yet, or if you're already dating your soulmate and you want to improve your relationship. I also offer the Reunion program, which is ideal for those who have met their soulmate but are no longer together for whatever reason. These programs have helped hundreds of clients already, and I know they can work for you too. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch me in the next one. My name is Coach Katie with Manifest Best, and happy manifesting!